Sepulveda, and the goalkeeper again is equal to it. It was a trundler of a penalty kick, so much so that Lamson seemed able to change direction.
You don't need to see the game-winning penalty kick. All you need to know is that Matt Lamson is the hero on night one of Leagues Cup action. The LA Galaxy on penalties move past Club Tijuana to the semifinals where they'll take on Cruz Azul, who knocked off the Chicago Fire 2-0. Welcome to a special Leagues Cup edition of MLS Match Day Central. I'm Andrew Wiebe. That's Charlie Davies. This is Matt Doyle from the AT&T MLS studios in Midtown Manhattan. You saw the game-saving save by Matt Lamson. Let's get to the rest of the highlights now from the nightcap. Club Tijuana and the LA Galaxy. It started pretty well for the Galaxy guys. They fielded a lineup that wasn't first choice, but hey, Emma Boateng getting the nice deflection, up 1-0.
They needed this early goal to get them going, to give them the confidence that they can get the win at home. And it was a good run. Get in front of get in the box, whip balls in, and things will happen.
Yeah, this is a good run right here from Camilo Sanveso, and then Nahuelpan getting into the box and finishing it off. This was Xolos' first team. This was their best 11, and throughout about the last half hour of the first half, they looked like it. They really started clicking, and there were some worries, I think, that the Galaxy were just going to get blown out. But then they came out in the second half. They kind of battened down the hatches, and then, guys, set pieces. Set pieces. It sounds like Galaxy-Xolos, but we've seen this for my entire life. If you want to beat Mexican teams, you got to beat them on restarts.
Dave Romney wide open in the 6-yard box. Easy as you like. Tie game. Thought it was no winner for Camilo Sanveso. He wanted it. He's not going to get it. He is the replacement for Gustavo Bo in Tijuana. The striker sold to New England Revolution. And then Matt Lamson, as Taylor Twellman said in the broadcast on ESPN, 9 for 9 were penalty takers against Matt Lamson in the regular season. Well, it doesn't matter when you get in these big moments, when you get in front of a penalty kick shootout. He is the hero. Giancarlo Gonzalez gets the game-winning penalty kick. You see the happiness. LA Galaxy are moving on. Here are the stats. Of course, the shots. Advantage goes to Club Tijuana. On target, same possession, passes, duels, down. Doesn't matter. Result went against them.
And these guys gained valuable experience competing against Tijuana's first team. They get a win. Now they go to Cruz Azul playing away on the road. That's going to be a massive game for a lot of these players who are going to get another opportunity to go and try and upset the big dogs of Mexican soccer.
TBD where these semifinals will be played. For now, though, let's go back to Carson. Our AT&T call to the field. David Goss is standing by with the hero, Matt Lamson.
Let's start with this experience first. First ever Leagues Cup, first ever game. You guys get the dramatic win. What was the experience like?
You know, a lot of these guys haven't had a lot of minutes this year. And for us to come out and play a team of that caliber really speaks to the group of guys we have here. And I'm really proud to play with them. I'm really proud of the guys that we had out here. And I mean, either team can win that game. You never want to end on penalties. But overall, it's an awesome experience to play against Liga MX and players of that quality. And I'm humbled to be a part of it. And I'm really happy the league's doing it.
It was PKs, though, and you guessed right on almost every shot. You saved 3 of them. Walk us through that PK experience.
I didn't guess. But
watching a lot of tape?
Yeah, that's a lot of film. But I owe a lot to our goalkeeper coach because he's been prepping me on those in the previous few days. So I feel like I had a few tendencies picked out, and luckily it paid off. Even the one I got scored on, I knew where he's going. So it's unfortunate I couldn't stop all 4 of them, but I feel like I did enough, and my teammates did the rest, and we're on to the next game.
You mentioned the group. Felt like a year ago this team wouldn't win a game like this. Under Guillermo, it's gotten better and better. Where does this group feel right now?
You know, this group of guys, this locker room that we have is something special. Every single player is close to each other, and I think that shows with the heart that we put on the field tonight, and even this past Friday with the game we had against LAFC. I think we're destined for great things if we continue to put that together, and I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Matt Lamson, master of the PK shootout, master of the deadpan response.
Hey.
I didn't guess. That's what he says to David Goss in Carson. I don't think he did guess. I think he knew exactly where they were going, and this is a great performance from him. And you said this, Charlie. There are opportunities for players to step up to get a little bit of something. Nobody's saying that Matt Lamson is going to be the starting goalkeeper for the LA Galaxy. But who knows when he may have to step in, and regardless, this is a brilliant moment for this club, for these players.
I wouldn't say he guessed on all of them, but the last one in particular, I think he literally read the player stop, hesitate just before the kick, and I think he thought he was going to go down the middle. And he stayed there, he hesitated, and the shot wasn't hard enough so we could get down and get there in time. But either way, what a remarkable performance from him to come in and put the team on his back in the penalty shootout and show them, you know what, guys, we deserve to move on. We've battled, we stuck it out against Tijuana's best, and we're ready to move on. We're ready for another challenge.
Cruz Azul is next. Doyle, what did Galaxy show you in this game? What did Cruz Azul pose in the next round?
I mean, Cruz Azul is just a better, more talented team than Tijuana, so it is going to be a tougher test. But what the Galaxy showed tonight was toughness of their own. Like, these guys, we were just saying it, right? Last year, this group would have lost this game, and probably badly, but they came out this year with this group under Guillermo Barros-Schelotto, and with veterans like Matt Lamson and Giancarlo Gonzalez, who are two different levels of veterans right there, but then a bunch of the young guys as well coming in and playing like a unit. It wasn't always great. There were times where they needed to do a little bit more with the ball and kind of put their foot on it and try to establish a tempo in the game. They weren't always able to do that, but you don't always need to do that in order to win, and they showed it. It was a good night for a lot of these guys who are primarily USL players, and then made a statement to their coach that said, you can trust us in the big games. Trust us in MLS the way you trusted us in Leagues Cup, because guess what? We're advancing to the semifinals. Tijuana, they're out.
What'd you make of Guillermo's decision to field that lineup, to not go with his first choice? We assumed he would. He kind of telegraphed it and said, guys, there's 4 days until
there are a
we
lot
play
of people.
again.
There are a lot of people on Twitter who were saying this is showing that they're not taking it seriously. This is showing that MLS teams aren't going to compete, and those people maybe going to wake up tomorrow morning and delete some tweets because Galaxy were clearly there to compete. They were there to win, and they did. And credit to Guillermo Barros-Schelotto and those players for not laying down and dying. They went out there to win, and they did it.
As a coach, you always take a risk when you don't play your first team players, your starters. And you go out there, and if they win, you look like a genius, and if you lose, it's on you as a coach. He believes in his squad, and they got the job done, and that's all that matters. So they got to advance against Cruz Azul, where as some other coaches, they don't play their first team players, and they lose, and then it's on them.
That's going to be a decent transition to the first game of the night, I think. Cruz Azul
Charlie's a pro.
in Bridgeview to take on the Chicago Fire in the opening game of Leagues Cup action in 2019. And ever, Veljko Paunovic also went with a not first team lineup. You see Bastian Schweinsteiger on the bench. He got in. CJ Sapong got in, but it was not going to be enough against Cruz Azul as we watch the highlights here. What'd you make of the decision for that lineup? Charlie, I know you didn't like it in the pregame, and what'd you think of the performance from Cruz Azul and the Fire?
Well, I didn't like it in the pregame. I didn't like it after the game, and I still don't like it now. When you play Sapong and you bring him in, you're stating that he's going to play a part in this match. Play him from the beginning, because when he did come in, the game did change for the Fire, and they did play the ball forward. They did try and create opportunities with him in the game because of his movement, because he's an athletic freak of nature, to be honest. He poses problems for defenders, especially Mexican defenders, because they're not used to dealing with athletes like a CJ Sapong. Now, Alvarado scored a fantastic goal, one of those goals that you can watch over and over again. He's a talented player, but this is a Chicago Fire that is going to watch this match over and say, man, we didn't come out here and perform the way we wanted to. And it's a shame, because this was a real opportunity for this team to get going. They could have used this win, a result like this, like the Galaxy got tonight, could spur this team on and hopefully get a run to try and get into MLS Cup play.
Whether it's the starters or the subs, whether it's MLS regular season play or the Leagues Cup, the Fire played like the Fire. They did what we've seen them do all year, which is naive defense in the 18 specifically, and then missed chances. Like, yeah, they got outshot, they got outpossessed in this one, but Nemanja Nikolic had an open header inside the 6. Fabian Herbers had an open look from the top of the box. These were chances that other teams put away. They did not. And I do want to say another big thing. The guys who are playing for the Fire, guys like Reynolds and Amando Moreno and Grant Lillard and young players like this who haven't gotten a lot of time in MLS, the Fire don't have a USL team. So these guys haven't been getting time anywhere. Whereas with the Galaxy, they have Los Dos. So Efra Alvarez, Emil Cuello, even Serrano Carrasco, these are all guys who have been playing professional soccer all year in USL. And to me, it showed. Because the Galaxy went out there with cohesion and belief in each other. And I don't think the Fire really had that. And you have to wonder if maybe they handicapped themselves for this tournament a little bit by not having that to lean on.
Cruz Azul, I think, will be the favorites, you would think, especially considering the Galaxy might not go first team in the semifinal match. Be interesting to see what Guillermo Barros-Schelotto decides to do in that match as well. We know that is the matchup on one side of the bracket. The other side still TBD. 2 matches going down on Wednesday night for you. The nightcap is RSL and Tigres. The first game of the day is Houston and Club America. 2 really good matchups. Let's preview those before we get out of here tonight. It's getting pretty late here on the East Coast. Charlie, what do you make of Houston Club America? What should we look for?
Alberth Elise in the lineup, attacking Club America, trying to put on a show. This is a player who has played in Liga MX, and he wants to show out. He wants to show he's developed, that he's grown. And this is a great opportunity for Houston to make some noise. You beat Club America, a giant in Liga MX, and then this gives you guys confidence because right now they turn the tables with a big road win in Toronto. Mauro Manotas isn't playing in this match, but a win against Club America, you got the club buzzing again. We've done some big things in the past couple of weeks, so I would look for them to come out pressing, be aggressive, and try and get in behind the
Club America is the most supported, the most popular team in North America. They're the most successful team in North America. This is such a great opportunity for this Houston team to go out there and get a win like that, like what the Galaxy just had in front of those fans in Houston, because it's not going to be orange in those stands tomorrow. It's going to be yellow. It's going to be Club America fans. It's a huge opportunity for the Dynamo.
Massive. Alberth Elise is eligible. He's part of the 23-man roster, but there are many starters that are not. You can look at Manotas or Martinez in the middle of the park. We'll see what Wilmer Cabrera throws out there. Mike Pecky has some decisions to make as well. Here's what he had to say against that ahead of that matchup, against Tigres.
But I will say this, is that this organization is putting a lot of stock into this tournament that we're in starting Wednesday. So I'm not even looking at Dallas right now. You know, I'm looking at Tigres' assessment tomorrow on who's healthy and who's feeling all right, then Monday and Tuesday, and then make some decisions.
Both these games on ESPN Plus and 2-Day NA on Wednesday night. We have the pregame and postgame shows right here on Matchday Central. You can catch those on the MLS app, Twitter, and Facebook. Yet an interesting stat, Doyle, that we were going over before we watched these games, because we are, as many people know, CCL nerds and Liga MX MLS nerds. Against teams that are not Tigres or Rayados, MLS does pretty well. Yeah. Against teams that are Tigres and Rayados, it's not so well. So what does RSL have up against them in this match?
A truck. Like Tigres, they're a wagon, man. They have in Gignac, he's probably been the best player in North America over the last 5 years. And if he doesn't play, they have 3 other $10 million strikers they can put out there on the field instead of him. They have, international caliber players from teams, Argentina, Mexico, on down, France, obviously, on down the list. They've spent more money than anybody in North America in the past half decade. They've won more titles in this decade than any other team in Liga MX. It's a mountain. They have to climb a mountain tomorrow, but you got to start somewhere. Like the whole goal is to start beating teams like this. And we've seen it, as you said, with the rest of Liga MX. Since the introduction of TAM, MLS teams actually have a winning record against Liga MX teams, except for the Monterrey clubs. Got to start somewhere.
Also, Giovanni Dos Santos is on the bench. Hector Herrera mentioned that today. Could we see him come out? He's going to be motivated. He's going to be inspired because of how it all ended with LA Galaxy. So if he's on the field, I want to see how much of an impact he's going to make, because obviously the hunger's there. He wants to start off hot with Club America. He wants to impress, but he also he's not going to forget how things ended with LA Galaxy in the MLS.
2 games coming up tomorrow. We will see how Liga MX managers address those. Of course, near first teams tonight, Cruz Azul handled business against Chicago Fire. They moved on with a 2-0 win. 2-2 in regulation between the Galaxy and Club Tijuana. Matt Lamson, the hero in PKs to send the Galaxy through. MLS Liga MX in the semifinal on that side of the bracket. That's what we're looking for here. Those interleague matchups, we'll see if we get it on the other side on Wednesday. The Dynamo and Club America, ESPN Plus, 2DN. That's your opening match, and Real Salt Lake Tigres is the closing match of the night, also on ESPN Plus and 2DN. We have the pregame show for you to get you ready with the lineups from that first game, Houston and Club America. Watch it on the MLS app, Twitter, and Facebook. Myself, Matt Doyle here. Kalen Carr subbing in for Charlie Davies. We're sending him back up the coast to Massachusetts to be with his twins. In the meantime, it's time for us to get out of here. Hope you enjoyed the first night of action in the League's Cup, everybody. We will see you tomorrow for more.